let's see. What would that be? Would it have been a foot chase or a vehicle chase? What do you think?
I'm thinking vehicle chase on surface streets.
I will fight. What, Don Henley? I love it. All right. Well, the button is pushed. Let's do this thing.
Sweet. There we go.
I said that, and then of course I had to go back for the glasses again.
It's all good, man. We got lots to catch up on tonight, man.
I know. I really feel like you're here in the room. That's the weirdest
Do
part.
you? Is it trippy?
Yeah, the opening part before we do all this and say hi to our friends at home and everything. It is very
Right.
very trippy for what our friend at home doesn't know. You're just kind of piped in here, and we have the system live and everything, and the control room's live and all warmed up, and the studio's all lit, and and I'll just kind of, about 15 minutes before, I'm kind of done with the pre-show stuff, and I'll go to my own stuff. Like, oh, make sure you go to the bathroom, have a glass of water, blow your nose, like all the things that you have to do before you go do this, and
Yeah.
yeah, whatever, whatever. Let's start this thing up, buddy.
Let's do it.
I'm so happy to see you. I'm giddy. It's been a whole day. All right. Well, no, I don't know if does anybody care. I was going to tell them about how you're all piped in, but I'm like, I realize, what are you doing? It's this. I'm like, does anybody give a shit about that stuff at all, about the behind the scenes, or am I the only guy and it's all I care about?
You can't be the only guy out there. There's got to be someone else that's into this stuff. I
All
mean,
right. Well, then, very bizarrely, it's a really neat thing when I come out after having gone to the bathroom and blown my nose or whatever, and I'll either see his little lights on over here, or I'll hear him talking or whatever, and I'll just kind of be walking through the room. So, if you're in another room and you just kind of start walking through again, it's like, oh, your friend is live in the room. You can just kind of talk because he can. It also maybe
Tory's in Toluca.
maybe the other weird thing is it's also borderline the future, because it's, you know what I mean, like it's how Siri
Yeah,
is all the
yeah,
time. It's like, oh, what do you mean Tori can hear me?
yeah,
Make sure I'm all buttoned up here.
yeah. Right.
That's more of what I meant. It's a fun, neat thing, but just bizarre. It's still a bizarre experience and surreal.
Yeah, for sure. It is
So
surreal.
with
Yeah.
that, I will.
Start us off, Jay. Start us off.
I'll see if
What
I
day
can
is it?
get a hold of my own self here and tell you that first of all, I need to welcome you back to the late night playset, and thank you very much for choosing us this evening to watch on the YouTubes. And then hopefully later on a podcast. Actually, if you're listening to this, you're definitely listening to it on a podcast and or watching it later on YouTube. Okay, buddy. It's Thursday, October 13th, 2020.
Isn't it Tuesday?
It's Thursday. Tuesday? Isn't it Tuesday? What did I say? Shit, I wrote
You
Thursday.
said Thursday. I do it. Thursday. I actually made it tonight, so we're on the right day and everything, son.
Yeah, but buddy, this is
Don't
going
sell
to tell
yourself
you
short
where
tonight.
here. Let me bring this in together so we can do this, and I'll just tell you real quick. This is where it shows you what kind of day it's been for me. And then lately,
Well, I
it's
can't
really
wait to
been
hear
the
all
whole
about
week.
it.
I kind of feel like I'm swimming in all of it, and maybe this will tell you. This will be a nice example of it. If my trying to tell that story before and then doing this wasn't a giveaway, I was writing my blue card for today. This is 315, by the way. I was writing my blue card for today, and I wrote Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. But at some point, I crossed stuff out here, and I decided to rewrite that card. Okay, it's the same. It's the
Uh huh.
same information, but in a much nicer. And on the rewrite, I wrote Thursday, Tuesday,
Awesome.
Thursday.
It happens.
I'm still writing 2019 on my checks. That's not true. Only because I'm not writing checks. I mean, if I were still writing checks,
Right.
that may actually be true.
Oh, dude, I
Um,
still always get behind the one person that's still writing a check at the store. I don't know how I have a knack for finding that lane, but that is always the lane I'm in, is like the one person in the
you're in the
whole
old
city
lady
that's still
coupon lane.
using paper checks. Yes. Every time. Every time.
I haven't seen that happen in a long time. Oh, maybe it's a different geographic,
Yeah, I
perhaps
think people
where
are just
we're
old
located.
school. Yeah, yeah.
Buddy, tonight I want to tell everybody about, first of all, that car show that I went to, Cars in the Canyon. I want to talk all about you and your car and your build and what you've been up to. We've got some viewer mail. I've got an East Coast feed. And I'd love to just say very quickly that I love my wife, and I'm so proud of her based on her telling and her showing of her own self the other day. And I don't want to dwell on it, but I just it took a lot of courage, and it's going to there'll be more of that, I'm sure. But it was a really neat thing, and I hope you enjoyed the surprise. And then also, no, that's not important. We can talk about that later. So yeah, that stuff, and then anything that
We
you
got a
want
full
to talk
show.
about.
Full show.
Yeah, so I'll shut up now.
No, 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 no. I'm dying to hear about the Cars in the Canyon thing because I didn't get to go. Obviously, I actually like checked flights and everything. I think I've told you in the past because of this COVID thing. We're keeping our middle seats open, and we're not selling middle seats right now on Southwest Airlines. So they're
Right.
capping the flights at like 90 people out of 143. So it doesn't take much for a plane to fill up nowadays. So, and of course, I fly for free, but that's also standby. They don't tell you that, but it's standby.
Right.
It's not like positive space. So, I checked flights to try and get out there because I got nothing but time. But dude, I would have gotten stuck in Denver or Vegas or somewhere that I didn't want to be. So I was just like, nah, probably just easier to stay at home. So I did not get to go.
No. You missed a good time. I will say that. I don't know if you watched the show on Thursday, but my plan was to go with Paul Kennel. And maybe we even
Uh
talked
huh.
about it actually.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You said you were gonna go with him. Yep.
and that's what we did. So it was one. He came to Breakfast Club on Friday. It was kind of like, well, what do you want to make a plan or no plan or you want to go together?
Yeah.
What should we do? And he just ended up having me meet him down at Enderley, the Enderley Cars and Coffee.
Oh, cool.
And we drove from there, and it was great. It was great. It was a good time. We buddied up for the day, and lots and lots of those Ford and Ferrari cars. Do you just jump into that? Should we just talk about that first?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm dying to hear about it. Yep. Because it's been in the works for a while.
The show,
Yeah.
was this one
Yeah. It's
delayed
been in.
because of life?
Um, it may have. It may have been. Yeah. Rip it up. Was that the Thursday card or the Tuesday
Life.
card? Yeah, exactly. Um, I'm sure it was delayed. I've known about this show for at least 6 months in the making because everybody wanted me to come out for it, obviously, because I've been
Including this
such a
guy.
champion of the Ford v Ferrari cars and stuff.
Yeah,
But
in many
Steve
ways.
Foster is the. Did you get to meet Steve Foster at all? He's actually the guy that put the show together. And he owns the green longtail that's insured by St. Clair Insurance,
Thank you.
coverageforyourtoys.com. Yes. And then he also owns one of the P3s as well, one of the Ferrari P3s he has, which is kind of cool. So he's got a couple cars. And then, Bill Springer. So Bill brought a couple of his cars out.
He
And
did. I finally got to
man,
take a good look at that coupe, and that's a pretty wild car.
dude, it's so cool. Yeah.
Because
It's really, really neat.
it technically is a 912, but it's got a Subaru engine, but it's dressed
Yep.
up as a 911, a famous
Yeah.
911.
Yeah. It's like a crazy, like, hybrid of sorts. But it
And
seems
then
to
the
be
license
like,
plate was something about laps. It was like
yeah,
however many laps.
548 laps, which is the number of laps that car completed at the 66 Daytona race, which is
That's
pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
That
it's really
is.
neat. So, yeah, cool. But that car was in a couple scenes, kind of like my car. How my car was in the Le Mans race, and then it was in the Daytona race as well. This car was the same way, except you don't really see it. Like, if you blink, you miss it in the black and white livery in Daytona, and it's really weird because Bill didn't even catch this the first time whenever he had watched the movie, but I got the DVD and I was like, I know I've seen that car. It's like in pit lane, but I think it's CGI'd, which is really weird. Like, you'd have
Oh,
to go
you're
back and
kidding.
watch the DVD, but like they CGI'd it and it's missing. It looks like it's on like a peg leg. Like, it doesn't even have a wheel and tire on the passenger side, and it's cruising in the background of the pits, which is really, really weird.
At
but
Daytona
I
or
don't know
at
why.
Fontana for Daytona.
Technically, yeah, Fontana. But it's really weird that they had the car there in real life, but for whatever reason they CGI'd it in after the fact. I don't know. I don't know if it wasn't running right or what happened, but so it appears in the Daytona race, but you have to like really watch for it. But
That's wild.
but it was blue and yellow in the Le Mans race. You see it a little more in the Le Mans race. So, but it has nowhere near the screen time that his 906 does. Like the 906 has a lot of screen time in the
Right.
Le Mans scene. But yeah, some really cool cars there though. I mean, that's probably going to be the biggest collection of those cars from the movie since the movie that there will probably ever be because a
I
lot of
would
them are getting
imagine
scattered to the wind. Yeah,
I
yeah.
would imagine, and what was
So,
cool for me was all those years, and you can back me up on this, all those years of movie car doing the same thing with
hmm
movie cars.
right.
There were like you'd go to a car show, and there was always like, well, three DeLoreans, two Herbies, and two A-Team
Yeah.
vans, and whatever that, and it was always kind of like, well,
Oh yeah.
all right, and
There's
then
always
some
a
people
General
kind of got
Lee. There's
hip.
always
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
having two Santa Clauses. Like, come on, and
Yeah.
at the same party, at the same chimney,
Yeah,
uh,
agreed.
it's its own thing. So, what was cool about this one, and it brought, I was looking around, and I was like, it's so cool that they only have one of this and one of that. About halfway
Yeah,
through
it's
doing the
true.
calculations, I was like, oh right, these are the these are the ones.
Yes. Yeah.
We
Which is
haven't
neat.
gone far enough. By the time I got into movie car building, I was building cars that I had seen 15, 20 years earlier. I mean, it was
hmm
late. It was 2006 or 7, something like that, when I started building the DeLorean. I think somewhere around there. The
Okay.
movie was 20 years earlier. You
Yeah.
know, so it's weird in my mind. Like nobody has done this, but at some point somebody probably will
Yeah. I know,
replicate
right?
them.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy. Well, I mean, it's funny because a lot of like, some of the companies, who's the one that does Super Performance? They actually have a cinema line now, and they will build you a Ken Miles, GT40 or a Ken Miles Cobra as seen in Ford v Ferrari, even though it wasn't in the movie. They're
No,
just
but
cashing in on it.
that's how it should be. I mean,
But
that's the car
yeah,
I want. I feel
yeah,
like you and me making that shit possible made that a current business.
yeah. Well, I mean, George Barris has been capitalizing on that for decades. So, I mean, obviously there's
Uh,
people doing it before us, but I mean, the Herbie thing is really blown up. I mean, everyone's building a Herbie now and everyone's building a time
yes and
machine,
no.
but
Yes and no. I
yeah.
mean, I Barrett.
Well,
My
I'd like to
feelings
think
on
we took,
Barris.
oh,
Barris is a
and,
weird
and
example to bring up just because it's so
it is, and
polarizing.
yeah, and I have the same feelings about George Barris as well. I mean, he was all about the money. He didn't care if something was accurate, whatever else. I mean, he did a lot more harm to maybe cars than good. I think we'll agree with that. I mean, he completely like bastardized the one of the Paul Walker Fast and Furious cars. Like he got his hands on one of those original cars at one point and just completely like did crazy stupid shit to it. It ruined it. I mean, completely
I
ruined it.
I think he I think he really really I don't know how to say this. I don't want to say pulled the wool over our eyes, but I think he really really understood how to PT Barnum a certain generation, and then the next
Oh, there's
generation
no
saw
doubt.
right through that
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, he was
Just
definitely
we pull
a
that curtain
showman.
back. Like we were all just Toto,
Yeah,
like, oh, what? Excuse me, I don't think none of that adds up, sir.
yeah, no, 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 no. Yeah,
You sold 6 of the original Batmobiles when there was only one. How is that possible?
yeah, yeah. I know.
Also, you
I
had
know. It's
nothing to
so
do with
true.
Back to the Future, yet somehow your name's all over that car. Weird stuff. I say that only because of that cease and desist,
Yeah.
Bob Gale.
Now all of a sudden he's the guy that built the cars. So
Yeah. And again, it's so strange that of all the
it's
picture
insane.
car places, that's the one we live closest to. I mean, that one is literally a block and
I
a half
know,
away.
right? It's so funny.
On our way
Yeah, that's
anywhere, we
crazy.
pass it.
But that would have been cool to see all those cars. I mean, I guess I did kind of see a lot of them when I was at the warehouse when I was like finalizing the deal for my car. So I mean,
Truthfully,
I
you
did
probably
get to
saw
see him,
them
but
more movie like because of that. They were literally off the set at that
yeah, a
point.
lot of them have been cleaned up and perfected and whatever else. I mean, I literally saw them as they had just come off of doing the movie or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but what a cool like display. There's some really really cool cars, even non movie cars that I saw there from the pictures.
It was
Good display
really
all
nice.
around of
It was a
cars.
really great vibe. I wouldn't say concerned, but I mean, it did pop into my head. What's the mask situation?
Hmm.
Because it was down it was in a different geographical area, and these days it seems to be clicky by geographical area based on, oh, this is what we're doing here, and but once you
Yeah,
cross the street over there, they don't do that anymore.
yeah, yeah.
And the LA Orange County thing does seem to be a little bit more like that. And this was down in Orange County,
Hmm.
at a very nice venue, by the way. I don't know what it's actually called. Something the Oak Rock Canyon, something like that. Oak Canyon Park.
Okay,
Oak
it's
Canyon
like a
Park is what
park
it's called.
basically, right? Yeah, there you go.
It's a great venue and fantastic for a car show. I think Radwood was there a couple of years ago, is what Paul
Oh,
Kennel was
cool,
telling me.
cool.
Anyway, and just it was a really delightful atmosphere. Like the weather was perfect. In fact, the weather was perfect. Perhaps that was a contributing factor. It was not. It was very sunny and very nice, but it was not at all hot. In fact, it was very, very comfortable until a certain time when everyone was kind of thinking about, crossing the hump anyway to leave.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I stayed almost the whole time after only intending to be there an hour or so with Paul.
Wow,
I stayed almost the whole
wow.
time. I think I left around noon, I think. Me and Yellow Car. Me, Yellow Car, and the monkey in my pocket.
Did you get your windshield replaced?
I'm so glad you asked about that, Tory. Hang on, let's finish the car show thing first, and then I'll talk about the windshield.
Cool. Yeah, tell me about that.
I'm trying to think of what else from this car show. The cars in
So, did
the
you talk to Bill Springer at all? Did you get to
no, I
talk
never
to him?
saw him. Never saw.
Oh, did you
It
not?
was that's the other thing about this place. It was huge. It was
Yeah.
huge. Not like the biggest, not like Steve McQueen huge, but I mean this was multiple football fields huge,
Wow.
and of all sorts of cars, which was really cool. It was not at all just Porsche, although that was a very heavy turnout. But there was really cool Radwood type stuff, 90s stuff, and old California surfing stuff, which was neat. Big VW
Wow. So a
turnout,
really good
obviously.
mix. That's cool. Well, I saw pictures of this guy that was like a rockabilly type, and he had like this candy truck with like white flames, and like he was all done up, like he was totally
Yes,
dressed like the '50s, and his hair was all like greaser style rockabilly. I was like, that's so badass. Like
that's what.
everyone
Yes, there
had
was a
their
lot of
own
that.
little factions. Like there was so many different aspects of the car culture represented in this one show. That's so
If
cool.
if I had to make a prediction for where all of this is going, or
Hmm.
at least in the Southern California area, and then of course it will happen everywhere.
Spread, right?
Not because we're so cool. It's just that seems to be the
Well,
nature
it's
of
just car
things.
culture. Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
right,
kind of
right.
set the tone.
It's turning into more Comic Con, and I don't have a problem with that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Really?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a booth where they're selling their
Yeah.
shit that they made.
Yeah.
Everybody is. Some people are dressed up, some people aren't, and it's cool either way.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like people who are
Mhm.
dressed up get thumbs up from people who aren't, and
Mhm.
vice versa. Neat. The Dapper Day at Disneyland, a little bit. Do you know that
Okay.
one? They do
Yeah, yeah,
Dapper
yeah, of
Day,
course.
sort of like that,
Yeah.
because people are dressed in period clothing a lot of times with their car.
Okay.
If it's like a
So
50s
kind of
car,
like the
60s car.
Goodwood revival type stuff because they do that at the Goodwood revival.
Yes, except yeah, because a lot of these people go to both, obviously,
Not to that
but
scale, obviously. But
not as mint julep as that. Although
gotcha.
you did see a
Okay,
few
cool.
people dressed up very like exactly what you're describing.
Well, it's funny
Just
because
not
I
enough to
saw.
tip the scale.
Yeah, you'll know the car, but there's like a bare aluminum Ferrari, and it's been on Jay Leno's garage. The guy like hand built it. It was like a spare body that he found over in Italy, and it's got a Ferrari, running gear in it. It's like an old Testarossa, like a '50s Testarossa. And I saw a picture of that car, and then I saw a picture of the owner. I remembered seeing him in the Jay Leno's garage video, and he was dressed up in like a period like Dunlop racing suit, like
Oh
kind of
my
like what's
gosh,
on
I took a
display at
picture
the.
of that guy. That is so funny. I bet. I don't even know if
Yeah,
I
so that guy,
saved it.
he did a really good story on Jay Leno's garage. He's got a Petrolicious video. He's got gosh, what else has he been on? He's been in a lot of stuff. But I think someone pulled out in front of that car and it got wrecked like right after or right before the Jay Leno thing. I can't remember which it was, if it was already fixed when Jay saw it or not, but I was heartbroken for the guy because he spent so much time with this car. I mean, he's as meticulous as I am with the 906, probably even a little more so because he's buying Ferrari stuff, but pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, that's the guy. I think he lives in Orange County.
I took this picture. Is this him?
Yeah, that's him, dude.
Nice.
That's the
He was
guy.
just at the
Yes.
coffee truck, and I was like, "This there's it's not generations in the years of the gentleman, but
Yeah.
in it's like a time machine. Like why
Yeah.
is one?
So
It could be at any time.
yeah. So I think the second word is his last name. The first one is Scuderia, which I think means like race team or whatever in Italian. I don't
Oh,
know my Ferrari stuff,
Giacobi,
but
Giacobbi.
yeah, I think that's his last name. Yeah, so it's Scuderia Giacobi or whatever. But yeah, he's got some interesting videos if you like search it. But it's like it's a neat story because he found this body. This body was supposed to be sold to Ferrari back in the 50s. It was a coach builder that built the body, and then Ferrari, for whatever reason, had built enough Testarossas at that point or whatever else. So this car basically this body just got put up in a rafter and in a building, and he found it and paid up for it and shipped it back, and then built the rest of the car out of it, which was kind of cool. But
Wow.
yeah, I thought that was cool that car was there.
I wish I had seen him next to the car, so I would have known. I would have made the connection. I saw him at the
I'll have to
coffee
go
truck,
back
and I
on my
thought his period
yeah.
jumpsuit was awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to go back on my Instagram because I know someone, maybe it was Bill even. Maybe Bill had taken some pictures of it, but I know I've seen some pictures of it on Instagram. And he's like getting out of the car or getting into the car or something, but he's standing right by and he's got that same race suit on. So that's when I knew that was him. But pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm trying to think of who else we saw. We saw the Porsche girl. That Porsche girl. That was always fun to see her.
Yeah, I saw a picture where she was like posed like on the ground or something, like she's
Yeah,
like lying on her stomach or something.
Yeah, and it's a funny picture, and she's not like that, but it happened so quickly. It was she had met. She has genuine fans. Like people come up to her like, "We follow you," Oh, it's so nice. There's no
Oh
cell
wow, that's
reception
awesome.
at this place, which is one of the things that I think makes it a really nice venue. So it makes
Yeah.
people. It's like being at a Chris
Pay
Rock
attention.
concert. You have to deal with the
Yeah.
moment you're not here,
Yeah. Exactly.
especially with a bunch of Instagrammers. All of
Yeah,
us.
of course.
But so she was like, writing people's names in their notes so she could like follow them later and stuff. It was very cute. Anyway, it was that interaction where she was like posing with them, and I got down real quick and snapped that one too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't want you to think
I
it was
should
like
be
a
better about
that,
following
that
people.
Porsche girl photo shoot.
That's funny. I should be better about following people. I don't really follow many people at all. I'm following 139 people right now. Like that's just not that many. Like I have friends that have like, they're following like 8,000 people or whatever. It's like, geez, I like how do they even see all of everyone's posts? Because I'm sure a lot of them just get buried because you can't scroll through that many photos. It's crazy. Like I don't know. I try to keep mine manageable.
Yeah, I'm glad you're talking about that. That's something I think about too, because I always originally I had always looked at it like, oh well, it's whatever you want to look at, right? And then it
Yeah.
becomes other people don't necessarily feel the same way. Other people are using it to make money, and other people are using it to
Right.
get more. I mean, it's just there are different agendas and there are different motivational factors, and not everyone thinks about it the way that I do. So some people think like, "Well, I support you. Why don't you support us?" Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, is that what it's about now? Is that what the monetary currency is? Because maybe it
I
is.
think some people, yeah, I think some people get like upset if I didn't know there was like this understood rule that like if someone follows you, you have to follow them back. Like it's a follow for a follow.
Yeah.
I
All
didn't
of a
know
sudden,
that,
you're
but that's
dating
a
the whole
thing.
world.
Yeah, it's weird. And like, dude, I
Like
changed.
well, I
Like
said,
I
I love you, and he
rotate.
didn't say it back. Like,
Yeah. I rotate my stuff out all the time. Like if I'm into like Yugos heavily one month, then I'll follow a bunch of like Yugo fan clubs because that's what I want to see and I want to get motivated to work on that car. But
yeah,
now, like if you look, at who I'm
That's you
following.
being focused. I find that you being focused, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Please.
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's it's just what motivates me, you know? So like if you were to have looked at who I followed 6 months, a year ago, it was mostly like Porsche 906, Porsche race car type stuff. And now that that car is like done, I'm I'm onto other stuff. And so I don't want people to get butt hurt because I don't follow them anymore or whatever. It's not that at all. It's just now I'm like shifted my focus back to like 80s Volkswagen customs and, Cowlick stuff. And like
Yeah. Also,
that's
not
my
looking at
interest.
not looking at your pictures doesn't mean I don't like you anymore. Like
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
tying it together these days, and I don't. I mean, maybe that's how it is in the future, and I need to adjust. I don't know, but that's not how I think of things.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I probably am leaving a lot of followers on the table by not like following back and engaging more and doing stuff like that. But to me, this isn't like a game. Like, I don't really, I'm just there for like looking at pictures and, connecting with folks and, like I said, getting motivated and, sharing my project. But like, as far as getting, like, I don't know. Like, if someone was to unfollow me, I wouldn't care. Like, it just, I wouldn't take it personally. I would be like, oh, I guess I'm just not doing anything right now that they're into, which I wouldn't be surprised a bit if I've lost a lot of Porsche people because now I'm back into the Volkswagen world. And that's
That
cool. I don't care.
This again says something wonderful about your character. I share the same thought process. If someone unfollows me, I think to myself, and I notice, which you know what I mean. How often does that happen? But if I
Yeah.
notice, and it has happened.
Yeah.
I generally think I put it into human terms because I'm not a fucking robot. Again, excuse my language.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think to myself, oh, what did I do to make that person not want to? Either they don't like my pictures, or something I did personally, or they don't like something I said, or it could be anything.
Right.
They don't like the
Right.
color yellow. Oh, they're
Yeah.
sick of sunshine and happiness. You know what I mean? It could be anything. It could be anything. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I then think about myself. I don't be like, I don't know. It's a weird. I think the gut reaction from a lot of people is like, oh well, I'm fucking unbelting you too,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. People get
okay,
really
there's nothing wrong
butthurt
with
over
that.
it.
You should totally do that if that's what moves you. I used to be the same way, and I feel like I've either grown or am growing to a place where I don't
Yeah.
find that necessary anymore. I look at it from a place of like, it's just talking about our computer, right? Like this is just our little. This is
Yeah.
like a little. I mean,
Well,
it's
it's funny because
Instagram.
like, so lately, like obviously I've been busy on this new bug that I'm working on or whatever. Dude, I've been on Instagram less and less and less lately just because there's just like I'm so busy ordering and looking for parts and actually working on this car and taking it apart. Like, if there's something cool that I'll do that might like make someone chuckle, like, oh, I remember these side view mirrors from the '80s. Like, I'll snap a couple pictures and throw it up there, but like I'm not documenting like every single day what I'm doing on this car. It's just
Yeah.
I'm just too in the moment and I don't want to have to sit there and think like a lot of people are always like you need to monetize your builds and you need to put these on YouTube. No, I don't. I don't care about the money because I want to enjoy the process of just becoming one with the car and it's therapy to me. I could care less if I could pay for it. Like I just want to enjoy my time in the garage tinkering. That's what
I
I'm doing
agree.
this for.
You know, I share all of this, and you know that I've shot myself in the foot the same way that you have by not. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've left so much money, so many places by
We
not
have.
doing
I know.
these things.
Right.
But you and I also share the reasoning for why and how, and it would ruin. Okay, I thought of something recently, and I haven't had an opportunity to do anything with it yet. But you might, considering what you're going through right now. Although this project's almost done, you're on to your next project car practically. Um, um, what if instead of like whatever we do these days, of like, oh, you document you do the process, and then you put it up at night, and then people see it, or once a week, or whatever it happens to be.
Hmm.
What if it was just like, oh, we just document the process, and then, you know what I mean? Like while we're doing it, like we make that part of the fun, but nobody sees it, nothing, blah, blah, blah. And then later, once it's done,
Hmm.
you make, depending on how much footage and what the style is,
Oh
whatever,
yeah,
that
I
it's
see.
either
Yeah,
one
that would be
video or a
cool.
6-piece thing or a 10-part, whatever it happens to.
Yeah, I could see
And,
that.
and me too, because I think back to I think of all of the photos and videos I have from when we built this studio.
Yep.
I mean, I mean any project I've ever worked on, but I'm just sitting in the most recent one. But I think of the cars or anything else. Like I have every single bit of the what'd you do today? What was done on this?
Yeah.
What's the improvement? And
Right.
I'm not saying that I want to do this for me, but it was making me think about like, oh, what's involved? And you have all the bits and pieces already. If you were open to that style of
Storytelling per se.
capture. Well,
Yeah.
just that style of capture, because I don't feel it would take me out of the moment at that point. It might take me
Yeah.
out of my flow of like, like how we all forget to take before pictures because we're so excited to
Yeah.
get
Oh,
into the
I'm
job.
so bad about that too.
We all
Yeah.
are,
I'm really
unless you
bad
have a
about that.
professional body shop or whatever where you've been
Yeah.
boned and it's costing you money and you have you have someone to do it. We all
Yeah.
forget. We're
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah. I know. That's my problem too. I'm so excited to put the next bit on that I didn't even take a picture of what it looked like before, you know? So I don't know. Whatever.
So if I slowed my own process down and then it became like, oh, I'm gonna do these 5 things today, I'm gonna do these 3 things, but I'm also gonna capture them, which makes it 6 things really. You know what I mean? Like not
Yeah.
only does it make the project go a little bit more manageable and perhaps more fun, I am also learning something along the way about a different craft and perhaps am making a product that could then
That's true.
generate some income as well.
Yeah. That's true. It's something to think about.
No, I'm
Well, I
just
do have
asking.
to
Is
tell
that
you,
anything you would ever? Is that sort of thing anything you'd ever be into or open to?
maybe. I mean, it would have to be that style. Like, I don't think I could do anything else. I mean, if it was going to be anything, it'd be like that, basically. But I do have to tell you though, this weekend was super therapeutic for me because I sold like so much Herbie stuff online. I have a Facebook page that I set up basically, and it's like my Herbie collection sell-off page is what it's called.
Okay.
And so you can look at it. I'll have to approve you or whatever, but like
Oh,
I've
I
already
won't be able to
deleted
see it here.
everything.
Okay. Never
Yeah,
mind.
you're not gonna be able to see it, but I already deleted everything anyway because everything's sold and everything is off,
Oh,
and
you're
shipped
kidding.
away or
Well,
whatever.
here's
No,
your
no, no.
Instagram
So
page in the meantime.
yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah. See, I really haven't posted that many like update pics. Like I posted a pic of the running board that I got.
I was
I've
gonna
got
say
a pair of those.
whenever something shows up, you post a pic of it.
If it's funny like 80s stuff that's like cliche, definitely. Like those louvered running boards, anyone who's in a Volkswagens into the 80s or even early 90s knows those running boards because they were so like mainstay back then. Like I had them on my high school car. And I was surprised that they even still make those things anymore.
But
It's funny.
but
But
this says it here in the thing. But tell people what was it that people? What did you have to tell people about
so I'd
those
have
in
to
your high
tell
school
people.
car?
So like when you're in high school, like if you have a driver's license in a car, everyone wants to go to lunch with you. So like I'd have people pile into the bug or whatever, and I would always have to tell people, they're kind of decorations. Like you can't step on them, like which is ridiculous because I mean that's what a running board is to help you step into the car. But like
And in any regular Beetle, you could step on them. I
you
used to
could, yeah, no
totally ride
problem.
on them.
Yeah, but on these, they were so flimsy back in the day. Like these are a little better because they're stainless steel. They're not like this thin, like just stamped steel. The stainless steel is a lot thicker. But back in the day, you could flatten a louver real easy if you stepped on them.
Oh, I'm
And
sure,
so I'd have to
especially right
tell
in the
my
middle,
friend,
especially because that's where a
yeah,
kid would do it because they'd want to ruin it
of
because kids are
course, yeah,
dumb.
because that's like where you get into the car. So yeah, so I
This was my question on that I think I posted even on Instagram. How is it with the stainless? Is it better? Because I know with the DeLorean stainless, I mean, especially on a curve like that running board, you couldn't bend it. I mean, you could, but it was like wicked hard.
I haven't stood on it yet to like test it, and I probably won't. But it seems to me like it's a lot stronger than what the ones I had in high school were. So we'll see. But I mean, the main thing is they're not going to rust because it's stainless steel, which will be
Right.
nice. The ones that I had in high school, like I'd have to like use chrome polish on them all the time to keep the rust at bay, and then wax them. So if they got wet, it would at least beat off the first couple times. But
Oh my
yeah, the
gosh,
stainless ones are nice. Yeah, they
so
used to be.
much
But I
work.
mean, they were also like 20-30 bucks back in the day. Now they're
Oh my gosh, really?
119. So like, they're significantly more expensive now too. But I'd rather pay a little more and never have to worry about them rusting. So I'm cool with that. But so how I'm
Stainless is just
funding all of
such a.
this.
It's a much more. It's just such a more. It's not just the fact that it doesn't rust, but like it's so much more durable. It is heavier.
Yeah,
It's that
it's just better material.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say that damn DeLorean. I mean, that's one of the problems with it. The body was so much heavier than it would have been if it were
Yeah.
aluminum.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Crazy.
they're stout, man. But what's cool is I'm funding all of this because I'm selling all of this Herbie stuff that I've got. And I this weekend I had one of my I'll have probably one more sale after this last weekend's, but I had 2 nights of a sale on this Facebook page, and I mean, dude, thousands of dollars I raised just off of like movie posters and stuff that was basically sitting in Rubbermaid bins for the last I don't know how many years that I haven't looked at. So I had to ship everything out today, this morning. I went to the post office and I felt so bad because I mean I have stacks and stacks of stuff and just the shipping bill on this stuff. Now keep in mind most of the stuff was like $5 flat manila envelopes because they have movie posters in them or whatever.
Sure.
$220 for just
Oof.
shipping the stuff, just for the shipping. Like it was insane.
When you
So
think about car parts and whatever, that doesn't sound very expensive because like shipping a
yeah,
transmission would probably be that because
yeah,
of the weight. But when you're
right.
talking about paper items and little
Yeah.
plastic
What
doodads and
lobby cards. I mean, this is
yeah,
just lobby cards and movie posters and like Viewmaster slides and like, yeah, it adds up fast. It's crazy.
I love that that stuff
Yeah.
still has
So
value though. That you can still sell it on eBay. You know that there's still a crew that wants it.
it's funny.
A lot
Yeah.
of this stuff is timing out these days, generationally speaking.
Yeah. Herbie's not, man. Herbie's still going strong.
Good.
In ironically, like even the Lindsay Lohan stuff is like kind of gotten to be collectible now. Like back when it was new, it wasn't that big of a deal, but like people are asking me like, what Lindsay Lohan stuff do you have? And I have a ton of it. So that'll be my next sale is like the Herbie Fully Loaded stuff. So,
Whatever you
but it's
think
nice.
about the movie as an adult, and because you were so close to the franchise, you know, given your
Hmm.
history, I still say it's just not that bad. I mean, it's like, yeah, okay, it's not a great movie, but it does have Lindsay Lohan in it, and it is legit Disney, and there is a lot of heart, and it is Herbie, and he does still have a heart. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot. Michael Keaton's great in it.
Yeah.
Justin Long's great in it.
Yeah.
It's still there's a lot
It
of
could
good
have been
in
a
it. I
lot
wouldn't be
worse.
surprised if that's enough to carry it over to bring it back again.
Maybe. We'll see. I mean, seems like Disney's big on recycling stuff every 15 years or whatever. So should be about due for another one because
What was
that
that?
was
2000 what?
2004 is when they filmed it. 2005 is when it was released. So 15 years. There you go. 2020.
So it's in development, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know, right? So we'll see. But
Let's
so
see.
anyway,
Cars
so
in the Canyons.
that's what's
43.
funding my VW build. So that's nice. So I found a set of wheels this morning, bought those.
Now you sent it to me, but you didn't post it yet, right?
Yeah, I haven't posted anything
All right.
about it. So this is like an exclusive for
No,
our
I didn't
friend at
mean that. I
home
meant
that's
like I wanted to
watching.
show it to people, but it's not up
Yeah,
here.
yeah, you can show it. Yeah, that's cool.
No, I can't. It's not up here. I can't. Well, I can do what I did before.
Oh,
No, I'll do what I did before. You're right.
oh, I thought I sent you a picture of it.
You did. It's not in the same thing.
It's just not loaded. Gotcha.
You sent it to my. It doesn't matter. I don't live
Oh,
in
did
this
I send it
studio,
to the
you
wrong
know.
one? Gotcha. My
Despite what
bad.
people may think.
My bad. There they
No, no,
are.
no. They're freaking cool, and I wanted to talk about them. If anything, it's my bad for not putting them in. Everybody, get a good look at this, and we're going to talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
They're
So
kind of they
so
kind of look like American Racing meets Fuchs meets like a 356 wheel.
so they're super common wheels, but not. So they still make these wheels, okay? They're called MP5 spokes. And the
MB?
problem is EMPI, EMPI.
Oh,
Yeah,
MB.
they're
I'm
like
sorry.
yeah, MP5 spoke is what the wheel is called. So, and they've been around for decades. I mean, they're a super common popular wheel. The wheels that I'm looking for were the ones that were made in the 80s, which were a specific cast mold, whatever you want to call it. And those are extremely hard to find now. And they used to be a dime a dozen, but like I cannot find them.
Huh.
So I missed out on a set 2 nights ago on Facebook Marketplace. A friend of mine beat me to them, and I begged him. I was like, "Please let me have these. You know, like I'll pay you more for them." And he was like, "No, I really want them for my bus." I was like, "All right, fine. Well, if you find another set, let me know." And I think it was last night. He was like, "Hey, someone just posted a set in Virginia, and super fair price. It was like I think I'm paying like 450 shipped for all four. They've got all the hardware with them, like super cheap. That's a pretty good deal. So of course I bought them, but the problem is, so like they make these wheels now, but they look way different, and I don't like the ones that they make now. They have a weird center cap that's more like an American racing wheel that's got like five screws in it. Well, this is just a round hole in the middle. And in the 80s, what they would do is run these fake chrome knockoffs, which look badass. Like I love the look of those knockoffs because they're, instantly 80s identifiable. So that's what I'm going to run on these. That's why I had to have this specific, set. Like if you look, okay, like if you look, yeah, right where you're hovering right now, those are the ones that they make now. Um, but you see how they're different? Like the spokes look wider at the top to me. They look
Hmm.
completely different to me. I don't
They
like
are.
them. I
No,
don't
they're
like the
definitely
center
different.
caps. The center caps look weird. Yeah, not a fan of the new ones. So it's really hard to find the old ones, the 80s ones. And seemingly overnight, of course, now that I need them, I can't find them. 10 years ago, I would have been able to find them all over the place, but now they're really hard to find. So, but I don't have to worry about it anymore because I did find them. So those will probably be here in a few days. I already paid for them. They're already
By the
getting
way,
shipped
you were
out.
right. You were right. Look at that. I could pull it up over here. I just had to open up the
Boom.
thing. You
There
were
they
right.
are. Yeah. Yeah, I love those. Those are really cool. And I mean, like, so they're aluminum wheels. So, like, the lip I'll be able to polish, but I think I'm going to leave the other, like, that
Yeah, it
sand
looks
cast silver
magnesium. It's not
color.
magnesium, but it looks it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's going to look good, man. I can clean those up, make them look nice.
I love
So,
it.
yep. So I got
And then
wheels.
and then
So
as
that's a
far
good
as the
thing.
rest of the oh shoot, did I still is it still here? No, that's mine. I think you're under here. And then for the rest of the build stuff, you have been posting some things on Instagram, but yeah, you're right. Nothing
Yeah,
too
like the running
new.
board thing, and then
Nothing
I
too
put those
new.
the mirrors on. Those are called baby turbos, and those are getting really hard to find. But those were all the rage in the 80s,
I love
and
these. I used
they
to see them on the buggies, like the dune
yeah,
buggy
yeah,
ones.
yeah. They were super popular back in the day. Now they're really hard to find. But yeah, those are actual real Vitelloni baby turbos. And you know what's really
They're made
funny
by
about that?
Vitelloni.
Yeah,
Luigi
which
had only
you
the Ferrari.
know,
Pit stop.
freaking Lamborghini Countachs had those same mirrors,
Oh my
but I believe they
gosh,
were power. So like those are $1,000 if you find power ones because I think they're for the Lamborghini Countach. But these are
that
just
is a
regular.
riot.
You reach out and you adjust it manually. But so yeah, so I've got a pair. I still have to put the passenger side one on, but I've got that. I've got the entire front axle is pulled. I'm getting a new one that's lowered. It's got adjusters. It's narrowed 2 inches. They didn't really do narrowed beams back in the day, but they just look better. They fit better. Um, so that's what I bought. So new front end is coming, I think, end of the week. Yeah, man, I've been busy. I mean, I'm in my favorite part of the car build because now it's like you're buying parts like daily. So like every day is Christmas morning. Like what's coming today? I've got my own little stash in the living room of like the corner that's nothing but parts for this car build. So I can like look at those parts and kind of, I'm taking it step at a time, like front axle now, and then I'll do brakes. And I completely rewired the car the other night. I didn't even show that stuff, but I mean, I took every bit of wiring out because it was such a mess. And I
Well, I
put a
think we
brand
talked about
new
it
like
last week when we did the harness.
yeah, yeah, that helped a lot. So yeah, it's been cool. It's just I love doing wiring like that because it's like a puzzle. You have to put everything like in its place. I use a factory wiring diagram, so like everything is right back to 1965. It's so much easier to do it that way than to have to try and mess with everyone else's previous owners, crappy repairs and twisting wires together and throwing electrical tape over it. I hate
I'm
that. I
having
hate it.
I'm having a crazy deja vu.
You
Didn't we
are
talk about
really
all of this last week?
maybe we may have, but
Because
I
the only reason I'm asking is because I remember being wicked interested in the harnessing and the harnesses last week and the whole bit.
oh okay yeah I know I mentioned the fact that I was going to put a new harness in just because
Oh,
the old
so
one was so bad, so I did. So it's already
I
done. Yeah,
misunderstood. So you were just yanking stuff out last week, but you've actually done it now.
yeah, I've already done it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, congrats! That's
Why,
awesome.
thank you. Yeah, that's what I did this week. So,
Is is it like I try to think of like the American choppers. Let's get the bike done. Like when your wiring is done, does that mean like it's done? Like the lights work and it's done, or does that mean like everything's in? Now we got to build a car around it.
well, I mean, obviously, yeah, like nothing
I don't
else
mean
is done
build a
yet.
car, but
Like,
you know what I mean.
yeah. No, this is just like for whatever reason, I like to do wiring first. Um,
Yeah.
just just because I'll be like changing front fenders and stuff, and like the wires are there to run through the new fenders. So like,
Okay, so it's more of the opposite, but the base of all the wiring is back in the car, done.
oh yeah, I'm
So
waiting on
now
a new
everything goes on
speedometer.
around that.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a new speedometer. Then I can plug all the lights and stuff in for the dash. But yeah, it's all in. And it's funny because the guy when I bought the car, the guy was like, "It's gonna need wiring," and I'm thinking that wiring's like one of the most simple things you can do on a Volkswagen. I was like, "There's got to be a reason why he hasn't done this yet," because he even admitted like it really needs new wiring. Well, when I got the car, someone had filled spray foam in a lot of the channels to like keep heat and whatever else out of the interior, but they also didn't realize that that same channel is what the wiring harness runs through. So I had to pick all of that out with a screwdriver so I could get the old harness pulled out and get the new one pulled through. That's why that guy hadn't done it. Because I guarantee you, he looked at that and was like, "Oh, screw that! I'm not even gonna mess with that." Because it was a job. I had to pick all that insulation out, but it was worth it. But yeah,
It's worth it once you're done every time, but nobody wants to be the one to do it.
no, he didn't
It's
want to
all
do
these cars
that.
are the same.
But
Porsches are the same. The DeLorean was the same way, and that
yeah,
DeLorean film gets really smelly over time.
yeah,
But the Porsches are the same way. They got that weird whatever's in the weird insulation foam stuff. It just
yeah,
I
yep.
guess it's the glue on the other side, right? Is that what it is that just deteriorates and then it becomes like
Yeah, it just gets
what you're
nasty.
talking
And
about?
and another problem is like so Volkswagen actually started doing that in the 70s. They would put this spray insulation like foam stuff in the quarter panels and in the channels. Well, then it started like holding in moisture and it would rot from the inside out. So like 70s VWs like underneath the like little half moon vent that's by
Hmm.
the quarter window, they're
Yeah.
notorious right there for bubbling up. And that's why, because there's this insulation on the back side that holds all the moisture in. And then so a lot of people, when they rebuild those cars, they don't want them to rust again. They don't put that stuff back in. But,
Yeah. No shit.
but thankfully, this thing being in California, I didn't have to worry about it. But I took it out because of here, because it is, humid here.
We are more than 45 through, and I didn't get to anything I wanted to on the car, but nothing is really that important. I think that it's been a wing it show. We should just keep winging it, I guess. But we do need
I
to
want to
do
hear about
the.
your windshield for sure.
I know, but I need to get to other things.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, let's run through that. And then if we have time, we can hear about that.
Oh yeah, and we can go long. I'm just
Cool.
you you and I are still figuring out how to do this too, because like sometimes one side will have an agenda and the other side doesn't, and then
Yeah.
the side with the agenda doesn't always tell the other side, and
Right.
that's so like when this happens or whatever, I just sort of smile and go like, well, whatever it is, I'm learning stuff. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And I am because you're actually doing car stuff that I haven't done in a long time. So it's kind of nice to know what translates over to the Beetle. Like some certain things I might know about a Beetle that I didn't even know I knew
It's all
because
the same stuff, man. It really is. Just a different car. You dealt with all the same stuff with the DeLorean, I'm sure.
yeah, and the Porsche too. But it's still kind of nice to know that there's this general equalizer.
It's the same exact. It's just a lot cheaper, Jay.
All right, there's so much stuff. The other thing too is going forward, I'm trying to like let's talk about cars in the canyon in this section of the show, so we can cut that up and make it a cut.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
let's talk
Well,
about the Tory V Dub thing in this section of the show, so we can cut that up. We have a habit of doing
I
this,
know
and
we have.
I
Yeah, yeah,
refuse to slice and dice. I won't do it. Never will. I refuse.
yeah.
I know
I
it
don't
can be
blame you.
done, and you can get magic out of it, like comedians and cars is done that way. Not knocking it, it's great, but I'm not that guy.
Yeah,
Um, so this is I think it's fun because I feel like we're getting to a place where if I'm thinking about these things, it means this must be working.
Yeah.
the part we don't have to think about. All right. Cars in the Canyon, I want to tell you something about, but it's tied into viewer mail, and it's just something I'm so stinking excited about. I
Bust it
was
out.
dying to tell you, but I wanted to save it for the show so I could tell my friend at home at the same time.
Sweet.
It goes into Cars in the Canyon, though, because that's where it was given to me. That's
Okay.
where it was left for me.
Okay.
At one point, I mentioned it was big, and we zigzag. Especially when you're with Paul Kennel, everybody knows him. So, and everybody wants to talk cars with him. So you buzz around like a fly, like really like a mosquito. And at one point, we found our way over by my car, the yellow car again. So I got something out of it, whatever. Anyway, I reached in and I saw that this was inside, like where my center console would be. It was like by the handbrake.
Okay.
In between the seats is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Were your windows down?
Oh yeah, always. Yeah, come on, we don't.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, ever.
Okay.
Unless it's raining. And so I look at and I think to myself, oh, we're at a car show, and it's either a freebie thing from the bag or somebody's.
A flyer or
you know how it is. You get postcards. Come to my car show. Buy my floor mats.
Yeah.
Here's a free keychain coupon. Whatever it is.
Definitely.
And I thought it was something like that. But as it was sitting there, I looked very quickly and I go, no, that looks like sticker paper. Like I know that that's not.
That's
anyway.
legit. Yeah.
Yeah, so I picked it up and I looked inside like this, like I'm doing right now. See that?
Okay.
See that?
Yep.
Everybody see that?
Arr.
I feel like Tom Green now. Everybody see this? Everybody see this? And I just took that peek, and I think I know what it is, and I didn't even notice that part yet. And I then go over to Paul Kennel and I say, "Hey, is Jeff Zwart here?" And I said, "Oh no." I said, "Hey, do you know if Jeff Zwart's here?" And he says, "Yes and no," was his answer. We're talking to other people now, so whatever. Yes, I know he's not here. And I was like, okay. And at that point, I'm looking at this and I see the front, and this has a sticker on it that says Zwart Speed.
Okay.
It's a several stickers also from Zwart. So I said, "Are you
That's
sure?"
awesome.
Whatever. And I said, because if I think I know what's in this, and it's a weird. I thought I knew what was in it before I saw it. Like there was a weird, like you know how I get my weird visions and
little
senses.
gut. Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, if what's in here is what I think it is, it's really special, and I'm so excited, and I don't even want to feel this way yet because it's probably not what I think it is.
So do you
know what
still
I'm
not
saying?
know? Do you still not know?
No note. Did you say, is
Really?
there a note?
No, do you still not know what it is? Like, have
No,
you
I do
opened
know
it
what
or
it
not?
is. No, but
Oh,
at this point, when I'm
But
doing
you
this with
didn't.
these guys,
Okay.
I don't know what it is, and I'm saying it can't be this thing, and I don't want to get too excited because it just can't be. But we open it up all together, and it absolutely is what I think it is. Now, of course,
Get out.
It's a 111 to anybody. Yeah, sure, it's a giant 111. Of course it is. This is from. I knew it by looking at it, by the shape. It's and the font-ish, that I thought it was from the Pikes Peak 111 car that he ran.
Get out.
And I never saw him, but I'm sure enough, we're all convinced like who it's got to be from. Like it's either that or Zwart's got somebody licensed to do his livery stuff, whatever, and certainly could be either one. And I think to myself, I'm going to investigate this further, whatever. But I'm so excited about it regardless because it's a neat thing. And then later in the day, after I had gotten home, allowed me to go to my text messages.
Was it a streetcar Wade Desires?
What?
Oh, I didn't know if maybe he had something to do with it too, because he's the one that designed the livery, I thought, right?
No, I'm telling you who it is.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know if you figured it out yet or not. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Well, I told you I thought it was Jeff Zwart by all that, and I said I'll investigate a little bit. I think there's a delay here a little bit today because I was having this with you before too. Okay. Sorry.
No, all good.
It might be our stuff. I'm just thrilled it's working.
No, right.
From Zwart, I get a text later in the day. Yes,
cool.
I got your earlier thoughts too. This was regarding his father. And the 111 I dropped in your car today is from Pikes Peak, 2010 or 2011, originally made for that race car. Also, I dropped a couple stickers from this year's 935 effort for the new chair in your life. Sorry I missed you guys. It was from
Aw,
Jeff
how sweet
Zwart.
is
It is
that?
what I
It
thought
was
it
Jeff.
was. It's mega
Aw.
stinking cool, and it's because he was thinking about us and really cool stuff with Mrs. Ryan's chair and everything. So it just
Man,
meant
that's
the world to
awesome.
me. Meant the world to me. Means the world to me. I think it's so stinking cool.
Aw, big ups
Isn't
to
it?
Jeff.
I
So
just
he
think
was
that's
there
awesome.
then. So he was there at one point.
Yeah, I guess he was. None of us saw him though.
Wow.
We saw Lisa Taylor and Tom Ridings, and like a lot of people he knows and would hang out with. So I'm sure that we just missed him somehow. I don't know what car he was in though. Usually his car is either displayed or would make a splash. So maybe he just went in a Cayenne or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's done. Viewer mail.
Man, that's an awesome story. That's really cool. Did you put one of those on her wheelchair yet?
No. I wanted it all to be exactly there and unwrapped and now
Sweet.
today
You'll have to
the
find a
studio,
good
the
spot
car,
for
and the
it.
wheelchair. They all get one. There's 3.
That's cool. That's cool.
Speaking of the studio and stickers, Jeff St. Clair gave me a bunch of stickers for coverageforyourtoys.com. And I don't have any in here, but I couldn't help but notice that what we are doing for coverageforyourtoys.com and St. Clair Insurance is really working. Because, and Hal, I'm not sure if we can get a shot of this, but but Hal, can we get a shot way back here in the out here in the window? I can't help but notice. There it is. I can't help but notice that they have either bought some real estate or they have sponsored a building in our
that's
very
huge.
skyline there. So
That's amazing.
isn't that wonderful? Yeah.
That's gotta
so
be
shout out
60
to
foot.
Jeff Sinclair for really.
That's got to be 60 feet wide, man. That's amazing.
I know it's on like the 13th story of that building. So
Wow. All of Manhattan knows now.
I am such a goofball. But it's my play
Love it.
set, and I'll
Do what
play
I
if I
want.
want it. Also, I should tell you, if not already. Oh, it's all different. If not, I'll do this. It's in the middle. We're going to promote everybody today. If not already, please consider following Ray Schaefer for your backstage pass to all things Porsche, brand heritage, and the occasional plug your friends. That's Ray.Schaefer, Shaffer. Quick shout out to Ray Schaefer, though, whose last Fresh Brewed and Air Cooled was with Mr. Jeff Zwart.
Yep, that's right.
Did you watch
I
that
saw
one? I
they
finally got
reopened-
to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I watched that one. It was awesome.
Yeah, I finally got to it. It was
really
great.
good. Yep. Jeff's such a good speaker. Like he's so well spoken anyway. So anything he does just always sounds great. Like he's a great storyteller. Great vibe.
I find he's such a good communicator. It must just be his art, his way of translating what's in his mind. He's such a good communicator that he really, while he's always the same, I find that he really knows how to speak to his audience, and it's something
Yes.
that I am admiring of and jealous of, and I hope to be closer to as good as someday.
Yes.
It must be something
Speaking of-
with just being able to get an idea from A to B.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And speaking of Ray, I think they opened their restaurants at PECATL today.
You're
That
kidding.
reopened. No, so that's good news. That means stuff's kind of trying to get back to normal at the PEC in Atlanta. So yeah, I believe Restaurant
now.
356 is open for business.
Well, this is great news if you want to go see the Ford versus Ferrari car that wasn't on display this weekend at Cars in the Canyon. Oh, it is. You're right. Look at this. Here we go.
Boom.
There we go.
So go eat there. Lovely view. You can watch airplanes coming in and out of Atlanta. Jackson, Hartsfield Airport. Love it. Yeah, that's a really,
That
really
looks
cool spot.
Damn good. Shit. What is
Yeah,
it,
that place is
prosciutto
awesome. Yep.
oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. So they are back.
What
So
is
that's
that,
a
like
good
candied
thing.
dates or something with the prosciutto? Oh, it might be like an apricot-y thing. I'm sure it says here, Jay. Want to just read the sign? I'm zoomed. You should see me. I'm like, look, what is that? That looks like bacon.
Everything there is good, man. The last time I ate there, I think I was there for that RM auction. We had dinner there after the auction. It was really, really good.
Oh, with Ramsey.
With Ramsey. Yep.
Gosh, I love him. He posted some racing pictures of Ray Schaefer in the 944 the other day. I
Yeah.
think was it 944, the red one.
Yeah.
So cool. I think it was a TBT.
Yeah.
It was probably from a while back, but so stinking cool. I
Yeah.
love that
Pretty
those
cool
guys all
stuff.
hang out and that they all
I
go to the
know.
track and hang out and race and
Yeah, I think
stuff.
it was that's Martin Lauber. That's his car, and he and Ray are good buds now. And I think actually we ate with Martin that night, if I'm not mistaken. I've had dinner with Martin Lauber there before, but I can't remember if it was for the could have been for maybe it wasn't the RM thing. I've been down there so many times now, it's hard. They all kind of run together. But yeah, good
Yeah,
place. Go eat
that's
there.
a good
Support them.
problem though. That's a good problem.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Speaking of which, and since your car is there and covered by Haggerty. Oh, and that's the other thing. I wanted to just go back to Cars in the Canyon for a second, breaking my own
Yeah.
rule here, trying to keep it in one place.
Yeah, sure.
Our very own St. Clair Insurance, our very own, there it is, right back there. Our very own St. Clair
On the
Insurance
billboard.
had a lovely booth there. Not only did they have, he covers most of those Ford and Ferrari cars, but had a lovely booth set up for everything else. And it's just a Haggerty booth. And I was like, oh, I can just say Haggerty? He's like, well, yeah. I was like, well, everybody recognizes Haggerty. Jeff Sinclair will simply get you your Haggerty insurance. But yeah, I didn't realize that it was all, everything, like the tent and the tablecloth and everything said Haggerty. And I don't know why. I guess I've never sold insurance before, so that's why I don't know how it works. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, like, oh, he's an insurance agent.
He's his own entity
In my
Haggerty.
mind, but of course
Right.
it doesn't work that way. You're an agent for this other.
Correct.
It's very, very interesting. Anyway,
Yep.
what an opportune time to remind you. They say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. St. Clair Insurance has coverage for your toys. They have everything. What was the? Oh shoot! Gosh darn it! See, it all comes back to me way too late. That's my problem. My memory is shit, and it comes up at the wrong time. Mrs. Ryan had a great idea of something to ask the other day, and I said, "Oh, let's ask him this weekend." So I'm every day this weekend, and I've completely forgot till right this moment.
What was the question?
I don't remember. What it was, if you can cover this, it was something, and I can't remember
okay.
what that device was. You know what I mean? Like your leaf blower.
Like
Yes,
a
we
drone
gotta
or
ask him
something?
about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, his other tagline is "What's in your garage," and that's not bad either because, like, what's in your garage? You got coverage for it? Is it a toy? Like, coverage for your toys? We can figure this out. I got to figure this out. I'm having a spell.
Yep.
Having a spell again. Buddy, I don't. Do you want to hear about the windshield? It's fixed.
I kind of do. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
Like, because
All right,
it was
I'll-
kind of a process, right? Like it got shipped, but then it was broke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's hear.
We should start with the most important thing to remember in this story is anything here is my fault. I broke the windshield. Okay. So, like, at the end of the day, like, any of this is happening because I got frustrated whatever. I mean, both frustrated and confused.
Well, it's new.
go
I
hand
mean,
in hand, you know.
you're having to deal with this, and that you're learning. So, I mean, it's
Yeah, and
I can't
and
imagine there's a lot of
combined with,
people
like,
that are
having to go to the bathroom. It was just a bunch of stuff. It was a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff. And I was
yeah.
trying to rush it instead of, like, this went in delicately, easily one way. All right. Much like this all goes around the wheelchair, so we have to get to that. Much like Porsches and having a different driving line, like this wheelchair doesn't fit in the car. It just doesn't. Except that, kind of like a regular car can't get around a turn in a certain way, a 911 just does.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow, and luckily it was on the first try that first day way back when. Otherwise, I would have been like, this doesn't fit. It's not like it goes in this way and then Ross and Friends when they were moving the couch. Pivot, pivot, pivot,
Right.
pivot. It's kind of like that. It's not this, then that, then this, then that. It's not like that. There's some kind of weird fluid motion.
Gradual flow. Yeah.
And you can only do it perfectly. So like and everything wrong will either break something, get caught, get hooked on something, gouge something.
Rip
Luckily,
a
there's no
seat.
leather or
Yeah.
anything back there anymore, and our seats have the hard back. They're not the
Mm-hmm.
GT3 seats.
Right.
Well, maybe they are, but they're not the whatever, the buckets. They're not the racing buckets, but
The
they do
carbon
have
ones.
that hard
Yeah.
ass shell on the back. They are
Okay.
GT3
Gotcha.
seats.
Yep.
So like that's getting scratched up, but like nothing other than that. Anyway, all this to say, I needed to learn that, and in one of the tries in learning that,
Mm-hmm.
I did the opposite, and I had it the other. Well, maybe it'll work this way, and I tried it the other way, and I was trying that and thinking I was pulling it out the window, not seeing there was another part on the wheelchair that was up in the window glass in the A pillar. I'm trying to pull it out that way. That's how I broke the windshield. I broke the windshield.
Oh.
Okay. It wasn't. I mean, like it was drivable. You know what I mean? Like I put some tape on it, like a little X of tape, just to make so it didn't spider down because it was the area affected was about this big in the top corner,
Okay.
but it was really just here, and then it was like spidered out.
Okay. Yeah. 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 So you caught it right on the corner.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know there was even anything there. You know what I
Right.
mean? I
Right,
thought if
right,
anything,
right.
it stuck on the A pillar. I certainly didn't think
Yeah.
it was between the A pillar and the glass.
Kind of no man's land up there,
Not this
or
man,
so you
anyway.
thought.
Yeah, F that one up. So anyway, so that's how I broke the windshield. Okay. Then I was looking at replacements for the windshield, and I was going to go, through insurance or whatever. And actually, I wanted to see how much it was first. And it was not that much. It was like 500. It was under $500 with a coupon from Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hear that every
And
day.
and that was with them coming here to do it. And
That's
like I didn't have to leave or
super
anything.
reasonable.
Yeah,
Like I would have
seriously,
thought that
like,
would have been over $1,000 easily.
I was expecting $1,500. It was $1,000 when I replaced it in my 944 Turbo in 1998.
Right. Yeah. So you'd think it'd be really bad now, like this many years later, and on a 911 versus a 944.
Yeah, like the antenna's in there. Not that we need
Yeah.
that part, but it's all in
But
there. It's all
still,
thing.
yeah.
So I was thrilled with that. And the appointment was only like 3 or 4 days away. Whatever it was. I think we talked about it on Wednesday. I must have done it or Tuesday.
Yeah, you were
rather.
gonna get it replaced. Yeah.
But what day did I do it? It was leaving Malibu Kitchen. I did. So I broke it on Sunday. Talked to you about it on Wednesday. I think I had already had the appointment. They were coming on Thursday, right? They were coming the next morning,
Yes, they were supposed to be the next day.
or Wednesday, whatever it was. I get a message from the guy right when he's supposed to, saying to set up the appointment. And he's like, "Hey, so I noticed that the windshield we brought for you is damaged. It's got some damage to it. Not the windshield, but the molding around it. The rubber, the gasket." And I was like, "Well, I don't. I mean." He's like, "Well,
Don't want
I talked to
that.
my manager. They're willing to give you a discount." I was like, "Well, I mean, hang on. What are we talking about?" I said no, but
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, wait a second. Hang on." And he was like, "Well, $60." And I was like, "Well, I mean, that's probably a pretty good percentage, but it's not really enough to make me not want a perfect. Like,
Yeah,
let's
I
get
mean,
the good.
$60
Let's get the good
yeah.
one for $450.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he says it's gonna. Oh, hang on. I gotta let meow out. Sorry, put you in the middle of the story here. Forgive me. I hear
Little
somebody
cliffhanger
scratching.
here.
Hey there. Sorry about that.
It's funny because like my dachshunds are totally getting restless too. It's like they even are like, "All right, wrap it up, dudes."
That's funny. That's funny. She's just laying down there. I don't know. She doesn't even want to come out now. Silly goose. It is what it is. Okay, so now I'm the one being very long-winded with this. So
No, it's all good.
what did I say last? So we. Oh, hi.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Bows
yeah.
up.
Oh, adorable with those little red demon eyes.
I know, right? They don't work
Dachshunds
anymore.
love
Poor
the
little
ring
guy.
light.
I know. Poor guy. All right. So you said ixnay on the $60 discount.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, sir.
And he said, "Okay, but they're out of stock, so it's going to be a couple days for them to get another." I was like, "This is the only one we have." I was like, fucking figures. Now I don't care as long as it doesn't get bigger, right? Because
Yeah,
we've got
yeah.
Breakfast Club on the twisty road, not even up at the crest.
Right.
We've got Cars in the Canyon on Saturday, way down in Orange County.
Yeah,
And then,
busy weekend.
Yeah, and then Malibu way out there. Literally every 3 of the 4 directions you can go.
Exactly.
So that's what happened. They said they'll do it on Monday, and I said, all right, well, it is what it is. But they'll still apply the discount for the inconvenience. And I was like,
Oh, very
now
nice.
we're talking. He goes, let me check on that to
Now-
make sure, and I'll call you back
That's
later. And he
better.
called me back later. He's
Yeah.
like, and we were able to apply the discount for the inconvenience. I was like, right on. So
Yeah,
I made
I'll
the
take
right
that.
decision, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to get the good windshield, and it'll be the same.
And the discount.
Yeah, right?
Done.
So, whatever. Then Monday comes around. So we drive the whole weekend. Nothing. It did come out, spidered out just a little bit further, but nothing to worry about. All good. And I think it was more from the heat than the driving, like
Probably
the difference
so,
in
yeah.
the heat and the cold.
Yep.
So the the story goes 2 ways. One, the job on the windshield replacement was fine. I mean, I haven't like taken it out in the sun to go look at it or anything yet because we haven't driven it, but it was replaced, no problem. But we are still having some issues with the discount.
Oh no.
No, they applied one discount, but it's not enough. I think the issue is I used that original, like I used this thing because my email had my spam email had a coupon for it, whatever it was to make the come to you free. It was $35
Okay.
coupon, and
Yep.
the charge for the home visit or whatever is $35. It basically wiped that out.
Okay.
So I feel like they probably applied this. Oh, and by the way, he said this morning when he was doing it, yes, and there's a $50 credit on here. I was like, well, it's supposed to be 60, but 50 is good enough. I mean, I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
it. You know, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then when he said the total, I was like, well, that's not right. That's 425 or whatever. It should be 405 because it was 455. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole.
Yeah,
it
you're
wasn't-
doing the
it
math
wasn't
and it's
adding
still
up.
not adding up.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I'll just do it for you, and then we'll figure it out later. And I was like, okay. I haven't paid you at all yet, so it's fine by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still actually figuring that out. And literally before the show today, I got a text from the guy like, do you mind if we just hang on. No, I skipped a part. So whatever, he does it. The windshield's great. He leaves. I even tip the guy cash, and he leaves. And he says in a couple hours, either you'll get the email with the total, or my supervisor will call you or whatever. But a couple hours. Okay, great.
Okay.
A couple hours does. I get an email with my total that has been charged now, not pre-authorized, like charged. Here's my bill, and it was for the amount I didn't agree to, $425 or whatever it was. And I was like,
That's crazy.
hinky. Now I know it's not a lot of money, and I've already gotten a deal on the windshield, but people aren't doing what they said they'd do. Like, this
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
really
not
work
cool.
for me. Yeah, I was feeling
Yeah.
good about it. Now I'm not. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely being a stickler here, obviously, because I'm. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
it's a
the
principle.
whole
It's
thing
not
is
the
a good-
money. It's the principle. You say you're going to do something, do it. Like, it's
how I
not
felt.
about the money. Yeah.
That's how I felt. So, so I go through the website, and Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace is like a big old corporate. It's like Idiocracy. Like, you can't really
yeah.
find a phone number or like
Yeah,
customer
yeah.
service. So there is a place to go. Is something wrong with your appointment or with your order, your job number, or whatever the heck? Yes.
Yeah.
So I do that whole thing, and I fill it out, and it's not like is it leaking? Is it broken again? Like, it's not one of those. So I have to click other, right? And then I give out all the information in the other. Well, regardless, this is an automated system because you can't get to a human being. So all it does is set up a warranty appointment for the guy to come back out.
Oh, my God. Oh,
All
my
I'm trying
God.
to get is my $20 back.
You can't just press 0. Like, I hate that. I hate it.
But I did it. So I did all that yesterday, and I was like, well, all right. And I emailed them back the same thing with another note saying, like, nobody needs to come back here. This is a
Yeah.
billing inquiry,
Yeah.
And then sure enough, I get one at like the same time the guy calls before the appointment, just to set it up. Luckily, it was the same guy. I got the email.
Okay.
Oh, it's Furman again. It wasn't the same guy last time, but this
Okay.
one happened to be Furman again. And so I sent him a text because we already have an actual text window, right?
Of course.
So I sent him a whole thing saying like, "Hey man, you don't have to come back." Like I even put a
Yeah.
comment there like the installation
Just
and installer
credit
were
my
awesome.
money.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he texts back later and he goes, "Hey Ryan, so I spoke to my manager earlier today and she said, if it's okay if we just, drop off a $25 gift card to you?" Now I said that. Yes, it was clumsy, but I read what was written. I'll do it again.
Okay.
Hey Ryan, so I spoke to my manager earlier today and she said if it's okay if we just, drop off a $25 gift card to you.
How many windshields are you going to buy in your lifetime? Hopefully just this one with this car.
I just find the whole thing that's a solution. I said, sure, that's fine. Thanks for resolving the difference. I said, I'll be happy to post or tag about my positive experience on social media because I'm like, oh, okay, they're making it whole. I don't care how, even if it's a promo gift card. Like I've gotten my money that they promised me, no big deal. And he goes, no problem. I will let her know already. So either herself or a technician this week will drop it off to you sometime this week. No problem. I let her know already. So either herself or a technician this week will drop it off to you sometime this week. I said, okay, thanks. Is there some sort of confirmation number or anything? He said, no, the manager has your contact info and address. So the windshield's replaced. I don't know what we're going to do. Whatever happens here is going to be fun. I don't care if I get it or not at this point. It's become material for the show.
Wow.
So there you go. 15 minutes of what's up with the windshield. Sorry.
Maybe we can give the gift card away. Like,
yeah, this is the actual gift card.
Got
from
a
the
broken
wheelchair broken
windshield?
windshield.
Safe life repair, safe life
repair, safe life replace. I asked him too. When I was giving him the credit card for the pre-authorization, and I go, so does everybody make you sing that fucking song?
What did he say?
Oh no, I asked him, does everybody sing that song? And he said no, but people do ask if he'll do the jingle. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna do it unless you give the jingle. And he's like, I go, what I said I'm not going to say on this show, but I was like, I'm not going to dance for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Something Sam Jackson may have said.
Yeah. Oh my God! Did you see? I was actually just gonna ask. Nice segue. Did you see a lot of masks at the Cars in the Canyon or not?
Oh
so
my
much?
God! Did I not actually get to that? See, I was so out of it. I'm so sorry. I was a little spun out if you couldn't tell when we first started the show. Like
We're all
three
over
things
the
had
place
happened.
tonight. It's okay.
I apologize for that. I was trying to say with that whole, things are different when you hit the border.
Yeah.
Some people like LA, they wear masks. Down there, they don't.
Yeah,
generally.
that's what I
Not
figured
across
you were
the
getting
board,
at.
but
Yeah.
more than not. And it was very split. Very split.
Really?
Some people were very happy with no masks. Some people were very happy with, and nobody cared either way.
Well, that's
there didn't
good.
seem
At
to be
least
a lot of
people weren't.
judgment.
At least people weren't calling everyone else out and like saying stuff because that's when it gets weird and awkward and like that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're outdoors. If it's that big of a deal, then just socially distance 6 feet. That's all you got to do. I don't know why people like berate people that don't have a mask on if you're outside. It's like, dude, you're outside. Just like stand back then if you're that like upset about it. It's weird. I don't get it.
I'm looking. There are some comments here, by the way, and I was listening to you, and I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Manchansuk. You know what? Let's do this. You can see for yourself. Murray says, I care about how audio works. And that makes me feel good. And Mark Castillo says, thanks for coming to our event. Oh, thank you,
awesome.
Mark.
Was that
I didn't
Cars
know
in
it
the
was
Canyon?
partially yours. Mark Castillo's awesome. Had no idea.
Nice.
And then Skip Ploss was a fantastic drama. He's a director for when I was young. But he's a drama, and he does the TV program also down at my elementary school. No joke.
That's awesome.
Well said, Tory. He liked something you said.
Thanks, Skip. Maybe it was my crazy Volkswagen tangent. Who knows? Maybe he really liked running boards. I don't know.
Super Drew said Safelite is a scam. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to make sure I get this 25. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
I know. It doesn't help that we're doing
That's
a
gonna
damn
be
commercial
stuck in
for
my
him by
head
that
all
stupid
goddamn
jingle.
night. Thanks, Jay. That's gonna be stuck in my. I'm gonna be going to bed tonight singing that stupid ass jingle. Thanks.
What are some of the other ones? 800-588-2300 Empire.
Oh, the worst one. So the worst, you want to know the worst one for me is that stupid 877 cash now that
877 cash now.
Yeah, is it
877
called
cash now.
JD Wentworth 877 cash now? Yeah, there's like the guy that's like dressed as a Viking on a city bus. I'm like, oh my god,
You're
where
right.
do they
Called
find these
JG
people?
Wentworth 877 cash now.
877 cash now. Yeah,
I can't remember if this was out here or if it was back home, and we're just alert the affiliates. We're going late because who cares? Pulling the plug now.
I know, right?
Lost cause. Nationwide warehouse. Nationwide warehouse. Nationwide warehouse. Do you remember that? It was like some sort of a.
That one's bad. There's
wholesaler.
another one that was like Empire Floors or Empire Flooring, and like they
Is that the one I
purposely
was
would
doing?
like crank the volume. Like you could have your volume on your TV set at like 10, say, and that commercial would come on.
Legally
and it was
allowed
like
back then.
40. That's crazy stuff because you'd have to like. And that has the opposite effect on people, I would think, because now they're pissed and now they're just going to turn the channel or like turn it down and not even listen to what you're saying. Like, yeah, I remember.
But do you remember the Empire number? After all those years,
I'm sure I could probably
2300 Empire. That was the first one I pulled out.
Yes,
yeah,
of course we do. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I guess it did work.
I think that son of a bitch eventually added flooring and everything. He really got it right.
Trickery.
Linoleum, the whole deal.
Yeah.
The whole deal.
Trickery. It's ridiculous. Like that's like the subliminal stuff that they used to do though back in like the 50s drive-in theaters and stuff. Like
it's
they
all
would
the
like,
same. That's
yeah,
the
it's
thing.
all
This
it's all the same.
Time
stuff.
is an illusion. Once you freaking
It
crack
is.
that code, you're
I know,
exactly
that's
right.
right.
Everything you're saying is correct. Listen, I want to just say this real quick. If you're in a part of the world where here, I'm going to put some bubbles on because that's why I have my mask on, because of the bubbles. If you're in a part of the world where you should be wearing a mask and you see someone who isn't, you could say to them, "Hey, need a mask? ShopHunziker.com." That's what we did. Not that you need it with the bubble. Oh, you can't barely see.
Is that
bubbles.
is that like simulated COVID or something? I love it.
Yeah, here it is. See, look at it. There, it's everywhere.
The corona's in the air. It's airborne.
I know we don't really get political, but the president's got it, huh? How about that?
I know, right? And was over it in like a matter of 3 days. So
we have to, buddy. We have to talk about what you're watching next week because we've been watching some good stuff.
okay, cool. Yeah, I just started that new The Haunting of
Oh, you did?
Bell Manor or whatever. Yeah, I'm only like 2 episodes in. Are you watching it too?
No, I turned it on
okay.
for a second. I couldn't do it. I liked the movie,
Okay.
which is equally bad, but the production design was so good that I enjoy it so much. But I watched that
I didn't
movie.
even know it was a movie. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, it's the same logo and everything. Was a movie in 1999 with Lily Taylor and Owen Wilson and Catherine Zeta-Jones. And,
okay.
what's the guy whose kid is kidnapped and fucking everything? Ooh, excuse my language. Kevin Nealon is not right. Kiefer Neeson?
Kiefer Sutherland. What?
That
Nope.
too, but it's not him either. Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
What do we have for him? I got it. Yeah, Liam Neeson. Yeah, anyway. So I used to really like that movie, and I saw that. Remember we talked last week about doing double features up at Universal Odeon? That was one of the ones. I saw that a couple times.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it because
funny.
it's a haunted house movie or whatever. I turned on that TV show, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to be anything like the movie. And I was like, I'm out.
Yeah. I ordered a pizza and sat in front of the TV last night because I was so tired of looking at Herbie stuff and packing stuff to ship out today. So I was like,
By the way, I
need
guess we're going to do it this
decompress.
episode. Let's just, who cares? I say we just do it.
Let's do it. What's up? Oh, the what are you watching?
Yeah, because we're already doing it.
We're halfway through it now at this point.
Yeah,
no, I'm
and
on-
it feels good.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm on episode 2, and it's actually kind of cool. Like I don't remember seeing that other movie. I don't know if I've seen it or not. So that's probably why I stuck with this one because I didn't really have anything to compare it to.
Yeah. Well,
But
it looked
so far, I
like
like
they
it.
were trying to do an American Horror Story version of the movie.
Yes,
It felt very American
yeah.
Horror Story to me, which isn't bad. I just feel like there's
Yeah.
already plenty of American Horror Story.
Yeah, there's enough of that going around as it is. Yeah, the first, I'm trying to think. The one I did like the episode or the season where it was about that house, the American Horror Story. That was probably the best one that I saw. If you saw any of the American Horror Stories,
I saw the first one with Dylan McDermott and the house that's in L.A. here.
Yes, that I think was that the very first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was awesome. That was a really
Yeah.
good one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
And that's
a
Ryan Murphy,
psychiatrist,
right?
and they were doing his
Yes.
office was in the house and everything. Yeah, that was killer.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah, that was good.
And
That's
I love
Ryan
Sarah.
Murphy, right? I think
Say it again.
he does. That's Ryan Murphy that does American Horror Story, right?
I don't know.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
You could
If
be
you
right. I don't know who Ryan
IMDb
Murphy
it.
is.
He's done everything. He did Glee. He's done Nip Tuck. He's done. I mean, he's huge. Like he's done a lot of television stuff. You would
Well,
know
no
his
disrespect
stuff
to Ryan Murphy.
for sure. Well, Nip Tuck was one of my favorite shows, like of all time.
was.
So that's why I know Ryan. Oh God, it's such a good show. I love Nip Tuck.
I'm not
dude.
making fun of you for liking it. It's one of those where I was just like, man. I mean, you like a lot of girl television, don't you?
Oh, dude, Nip Tuck, like.
And I'm not knocking you for that either, because I like. Don't get me started on the OC. You know.
Yeah. Do you watch Gilmore Girls too?
No, but she loves that one, and anytime I have seen an episode, it's always really wonderful. Like really,
Is
really
it?
good.
Yeah, I've never seen the Gilmore Girls, but I loved me some Nip Tuck. That was a great friggin' show.
Did you get into Glow yet?
I have not yet. No.
Okay, well, just
No.
keep it in your queue. There's no rush to it, but keep it in your queue, especially if you like Cobra Kai, because we finished Cobra Kai whatever a week ago for whatever, and then we went right into Glow, just because it's
cool.
the same. Even though we'd seen some of it already, just because it's the same kind of time period and the same kind of hokiness. And
Cool.
It will definitely keep that same taste in your mouth for a little bit longer.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to do that. So yeah,
And then did you see Cobra Kai has a launch date?
I did see that. Yeah, I'm stoked.
We don't
I'm
have to
super
wait very
excited.
long.
I know.
If we make
I
it to
know.
2021, it's happening soon.
We're there. I got motivation to get through this year now, dude. If nothing else, it's for season 3 of Cobra Kai. So we'll be good.
And
do you
supposedly
think we're
there
gonna
is a
see-
season 4. They just haven't gotten to it yet.
Correct. Yeah, season 3's already in the can. It's done.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably like getting some post touches put on, but I wonder if Elizabeth Shue is in it. That's what I'm dying to know.
You know my feelings.
I think you think
I
she's
don't
gonna
know.
be
I don't
there.
know if she'll be in 3 or not, but I think she will be in it.
If she's not
I
in 3,
do.
she'll probably be in 4 at this point because it's so successful. Like
Yeah.
now they can probably, yeah. Now
Also,
she's
I've,
probably
I've
like,
just,
yeah, I'll do it.
I've seen her doing things. I just wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Has she
the
made
other
it to
show,
the Hallmark Channel yet? Because it seems like the Hallmark Channel is where like dying stars go once their careers are just like.
No, you are right about that,
Dude, it's
I have
so
to say
bad.
that,
Like,
you know, there are a couple of gosh, that's a thing I could talk about for another day though. Can we bring up the Hallmark Channel another time?
I will. I
Do you
can do
remember that for next week? Hallmark Channel.
I can do that.
And it
Mark
sounds
it
like a
down on
weird
your
thing
mark
to
it
talk
down on your
about.
Thursday card.
It sounds like yeah, right, exactly. It sounds like a weird thing to talk about, but it's actually legit. All right, and then the other thing that we got into once we finished Glow was Mr. Robot. You remember
Oh,
Mr.
cool.
Robot?
Yeah,
We'd
sure
only
do.
seen the first season, and
Okay.
we've seen the first season again. That's where we are, and there are
Okay.
at least 3 or 4 seasons of that, I think.
Okay.
The first one is very, very apropos right now.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll add that to the queue.
Yeah, I mean, like right now though, like you'd have to watch it like tonight,
Oh,
or at
okay.
least I don't know before the election for sure.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. A lot of that dark web stuff, you know, it's wild.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Are we good? Are we good? I
I
feel
think
like I
we're
ran
good.
it kind of off the rails
I
here.
think
I'm
we're
sorry
good.
about that.
No, all good, man. All good. Next week will be Hallmark Channel talk.
Yeah, I miss just the rest of the weekend was great, by the way.
Good.
And it was really fun hanging out with St. Clair Insurance coverage for your toys all weekend. It was really fun.
Awesome.
He, Auto Kennel, and I guess sort of like for the weekend, sort of. I don't know. It was like a staycation. It was like an at-home rally. We saw each other in different locations every day, but we didn't. We all went home at night.
Right.
Wild.
Yeah.
We got to it all.
That's cool. cool.
Are you good?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Are you excited about your car as you thought you would be?
Oh, dude, even more. Like
Oh,
every
good.
day I get more and more excited. Like, yeah. It's totally like back to my roots type stuff. So yeah, I'm so stoked. Like it just
But
feels
it
like
also
home.
seems to be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. It just feels like home. I just like it. It makes me remember like what I was doing when I was a teenager, and like it just everything's so familiar. I don't have to like look in a stupid book for a torque setting or read on this procedure. Like I just do it. It's all familiar territory. It feels so good to be working on a bug again.
That
Love
must
it.
be sort of like almost a mental relaxation thing
It
because of it.
is. It is because I've been there so many other times before. It's like even if this goes wrong, I know how to fix this. So yeah, I love it. It's so great.
Mark Castillo over here is correcting me, or not correct, whatever. He's letting us know that the event, yes, Bill Fulmer, Bruce Brown, Andy Bain, and myself were the organizers. Organizers.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought my buddy Steve Foster had like been involved in it, but maybe not. He's the one that had told me about it for so many months or whatever. But
Either way, I know Bruce Brown obviously, and
I'm
Bill
sure those
Fulmer
guys
is
are
the
all
one
friends, like
that
Steve and them. Yeah.
coverage for insurance knows. And then Skip Plus says the Empire ads are still running, and yes, it's all flooring now.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. It's nice to have people commenting like, in real time. That's cool. I dig that
Yeah,
about the whole
it's
YouTube live thing. It's cool. It's starting to like actually like pay off. It's cool.
it's fun. So,
It is fun.
but with you and me, since whatever, we're just doing all this stuff live and just letting it go. The whole thing with the trying to keep it into sections or whatever is solely so that I can like actually
Chop
do
it
the
up.
cut downs.
Yeah.
Because lately I've been trying to like I'll do it and I'll be like in the beginning I would find, oh, we talked about it here for this 6 minutes and then another 30 seconds here and I would like slide it in, and that's just a lot of work and I'm not a good editor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I can just take from minute 5 to minute 15 and we talked about this subject, I think that's little bit more palatable for the listener and viewer also.
Well, I'm glad you said something too, because then I'll be more like, cognizant in the future about, kind of staying on task or whatever for our little different sections. That's cool. That'll help.
I think if you can be more cognizant, it's of keeping me on task.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
I'm the big
You're
culprit
good.
on this one. That's
No,
why
we're
I've
good.
been looking at it a lot to find out, what my own weaknesses are, and that just seems to be one of them. So we ping pong around a lot
We do.
because that's how we talk naturally. That's how we speak naturally. That's how
It
we
is, I know. And we
fragmented.
purposely don't talk, so we have material for the show. So it's like, I just feel like we have so much to catch up on. It's funny, but
We'll
we'll make
figure
it
it
work.
out.
We are
Maybe
figuring it out.
maybe like
We
the
are
real
figuring
shows
it out.
we would do the show and then a little bit afterwards we would like have a conversation about it, like they call it a postmortem.
Yeah.
Like this went well, that didn't. What do we need to? Oh, how
Yeah.
come this? Oh, well, it's because we didn't rehearse it. Like, oh, okay, well then we know. Like, oh, this camera fell off. All that kind of stuff. None of those are your issues.
All good,
I'm
man.
not saying we should do that every time, but perhaps energetically, if we do the
Yeah.
show and then there's a, I don't know. I almost
This was
don't want
fun.
to. Now I don't want to
This-
shut it. Now I don't want
I
to push
know
the
this
button.
was fun. This was fun.
Let's see. We did the bubbles. I changed a bunch of stuff in here. You can't tell. I hope you can't tell. The whole point would be that you can't tell. But I am so happy and giddy and comfortable in here. It's ridiculous.
It looks great.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those where it shouldn't really look any different. It's production stuff I've changed that's made things easier for me. I'm really making a setup over there. Oh gosh, I'm pointing and shit you can't see. I'm really making a setup over there to like have a station for someone to work.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I think what we could do, the format could become, we do whatever we do for as long as it is live. 60, 90 minutes, whatever. 90 seems to be where we tend to go naturally because it's only now where I'm done.
Right.
And then from that, just put the pieces up. If somebody wants to go watch the 90-minute thing, they can. But
Yeah. Yeah.
otherwise, here's
Give
this
'em
15
options.
minutes, here's this 20 minutes,
Yeah.
here's this 8 minutes.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
I like that idea because not everyone has an hour and a half to just, blow on an interview or a show, but it's like, oh, they're talking about Cobra Kai. I'm interested in Cobra Kai.
And
Let's
if
see
we're
what they have to
better
say
about
it.
keeping that into a one
Yeah.
thing, and we can we can
Exactly.
certainly go to other things within that as long as we come back, within a
Yeah.
certain amount. Yeah.
Agreed. Yep. I'm down.
I think it would be. I think it'll be more palatable for all of us.
I think so.
I love you.
Love you too,
I
Jay.
miss you. I did miss you this weekend a lot. And
I know.
and Paul Kramer and I was like showing him your bud the 15. No, yours is the 15. Bill's car. I was showing him Bill's car.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this is like he recognized that yours would be different than theirs. He was like, I wish I could see Tory's so I could see like all his little personal touches and everything.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
dude, these are all awesome and there's nothing wrong with any of them. But he does have all those personal touches that makes you think it might be a real one.
Yeah.
Not a real, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Doesn't matter. I love you.
I know what you mean.
I love you.
Love you too.
Shut this thing down. Thursday. Come on back Thursday, where we will be. Richard Chasler is going to be here. He's going to be here to talk about comedy during COVID, how it's been, the depression amongst the comedy people. Everyone's doing okay. They're hanging in there now, but it's pretty crazy. Their whole life was sort of taken away from them,
I'm sure.
or their livelihood rather. And then also he is going to start booking comedians again. So we're going to talk about that as well.
That'll be cool.
Getting some people in here. I'd like to do every other for now. Like a car person and a comedian person, car person.
Yeah, that's a good mix for sure.
Every other Thursday, I mean. And then hopefully as this blows over and maybe people start doing things again, then hopefully we can add another day in there too. But
Sweet.
We're set up for all sorts of stuff here. We're distanced. We're lit for it. We're kind of ready to go. We're kind of ready to go for whatever the next thing is. So we have to make the next thing happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed.
All right. I love you.
Love you too,
Last
man.
time I'm saying it.
Good talk.
This is the family goodbye. We're really leaving this time. See you Thursday with Richard Chasler. Have a great night.
Later, Jay.
Later, brother.